Hey everybody, thank you for joining me here at the First Alert Desk for another installment of Catch Up Quick. At the top of every hour, we jump on here to catch you up on the latest news making headlines in and around Atlanta. And 11 a.m. is a special segment because we catch you up on the stories that people are talking about most. You know, the trending social media stories, the ones that have people really excited. And I, of course, have to talk about March Madness. We're all glued to our TVs as day 2 of March Madness tips off in just a few hours. And if it's anything like day 1, we could be in for even more upsets. 3 11 seeds have advanced to the next round, but the most notable upset so far was 14 seed Oakland University taking down 3 seed Kentucky. Now, according to the NCAA, Oakland's upset left just over 2,000 perfect brackets still standing, which is actually an increase from last year. Now, remember, Atlanta News First has a full slate of games today, starting with Northwestern taking on Florida Atlantic University at noon. And you can keep it right here with 3 more big matchups taking you into the late night hours. And what a fantastic way to spend your Friday, I think. All right, getting you to another story, this one going viral on social media. As you can see from the video right here, we are getting a look at video that was released by Fayette County Sheriff's Office. Now, deputies say that a 14-year-old led them on a chase in a stolen car. This happening last week on Interstate 85 South and Stonewall Avenue. Deputies say that the teen eventually crashed into road signs, mailboxes, and even another car. The teen facing multiple charges at this time. And trouble for Fulton County Animal Services that could impact you, especially for animal services, animal control. Now, the city of Atlanta has 14 days to reach a deal with the county for animal control services. No deal has been reached at this time, and no contract agreement with the city has been made in the last 6 months. Now, city officials say Atlanta doesn't want to have to pay more, but the county says that due to inflation and rising prices, that's just going to have to be the reality. Our reporter Carly Barnett explains.
The city of Atlanta may be without animal services if they don't reach an agreement with Fulton County in the next 14 days.
It is what it is. The numbers are what they are. If you want to pay for the service, pay it. If you want to go do it on your own, go do it on your own.
That was decided in the latest county commission meeting, saying they have failed to reach a new contract agreement with the city in the last 6 months. So now they're giving an ultimatum of paying up in the next 2 weeks or the city of Atlanta is cut off. They say Atlanta doesn't want to have to pay more, but the county says due to inflation and rising prices, it costs more. And of the 15 cities they cover, Atlanta makes up more than half of their calls.
It sends a very bad message to the Fulton County taxpaying citizens who have to continually foot the bill if the city of Atlanta wants to use the services or allow the services to continue and not pay the bill.
But people like Robbie Caban, a local animal advocate, says she doesn't think they should have to pay for services that she says are not provided.
I'm baffled that they expect taxpayers to pay for a service we're not going to get, and they are putting in the news that will cut off Atlanta. Well, we're not getting the service, so what are you cutting off? What's the difference?
Caban spoke at the commission meeting and brought up concerns like unanswered calls to animal services and continually overcrowded shelters, issues she claims have not been fixed even with the opening of the new shelter last year.
And it seems like Fulton County just wants to bury it all and expects City of Atlanta taxpayers like me to just write a check.
And hey, speaking of animal stories, we brought to you some news that a lot of you took to social media to spread the word about a DeKalb County woman losing her pet while at an emergency vet in Decatur. And we have some very exciting news to share with you about that. So I thought I would bring in anchor Gurveer Dinza to talk about this story because, I mean, it's made my day personally to hear about this.
Okay, first of all, I'm just chuckling that you called me anchor Gurveer Dinza because I think in this circumstance, I'm just dog owner and pet lover and Gurveer Dinza. I'm telling you, Maria, same with me. Brooks Baptiste, who I work with every morning, he sits next to me in the newsroom, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, they found Hazel," and I was like, "Really?" Yes. Do you remember this story? Okay, it was this woman. Her name is Hannah Riley. She was on vacation in Toronto, so she had a pet sitter. Well, The dog, Hazel, ended up having to go to an emergency vet clinic that was, let me see if I can find the name of it here. If I can't, I can't. But anyway.
I'll find it.
Yeah, you find it. Anyway, she ended up going to this emergency vet clinic. And all of a sudden she gets this call that they have lost Hazel. So what happened is apparently one of the employees at the vet clinic took Hazel out for a walk but didn't have her on a leash and she got away. So here's the update. I love this.
I thought you were the perfect person to talk about this because you are such an animal lover and you have so many pets of your own family members. By the way, it was St. Francis Specialists and Emergency Vet.
Okay.
And they felt awful.
Of course they did. They were putting up flyers everywhere. You know, we reported the story. We've showed you pictures of Hazel. And speaking of being a pet lover, I just have to tell you real quick before we get to how Hazel was found. I remember years ago, my Sally dog, who's a little goofy, she wasn't quite right, but she was my dog. I loved her. I couldn't find her. And I lived on my little farm in Virginia, could not find her. Heartbroken, wandering around these country roads, knocking on doors, going down people's driveways. You know, I had left her locked in the barn. And I was like, you goofy dog, why didn't you bark? I didn't, so I found her the next day. So here's the story on Hazel. This woman in, she's in Medlock Park.
Right.
And she was actually getting her daughter. She was getting her daughter ready for school. Mm-hmm. And she saw this dog sitting on her porch. And she tried to shoo the dog away. And she said the dog didn't go away. Instead, the dog just walked into her house like she knew she belonged there or something. And so she realized that there was a patch of hair missing from the dog's leg. She realized it had been shaved, probably because the dog had been at a vet. And all of a sudden it clicked with her. She had seen the news stories about Hazel. She recognized the dog. She got in touch with the vet clinic. And voila, there you go.
That is such quick thinking and so much care to notice the little details like that. And part of the reason why we like to share any information, updates like these with you is because you never know when this situation can happen to you or your family member. And information is so important at that time.
Don't you know that Hannah Riley literally her heart must have been sick. And she said Hazel hasn't gotten out of her lap. She's tired, but she's doing okay. So it's a good news story. We're glad that we could report it.
And you have some other good news to share with us.
I do. We love our Hawks. Well, the Lady Hawks, some of the wives of the Hawks players, they like to do good in the community too. And, this is prom season, but there are a lot of young girls who cannot afford prom dresses and all the accessories and the shoes and that kind of thing. Well, the Lady Hawks decided to step in, so we want you to see what they're doing.
Hidden amongst hundreds of glistening gowns.
There are so many options, it was hard to choose from.
An unexpected dilemma, the paradox of choice for 11th grader Keora Wilson.
Prom dress shopping is really hard. But it comes to having your own unique style and just being yourself.
Wilson, one of 20 Atlanta area teenagers choosing a dress, shoes, and accessories for prom for free.
I decided to go outside the box on the color that I won't choose.
The girls will be experiencing something that they've never experienced before.
Jill Mitchell with the Ascent Project, hosting the event with the Lady Hawks, a group made up of women associated with players, coaches, and staff for the Atlanta Hawks. She says inventory you see here are donations from boutiques, Macy's, and Windsor, benefiting underserved teens who wouldn't normally have this type of access.
She hasn't seen jewelry like this. This is her first prom. She's really, really excited to be here tonight.
As I walk around, I see a lot of them opening up. I've been in the dressing room and all of their eyes are just mesmerized by the dresses that they're seeing and then also how beautiful they're looking in the dresses.
Women across all generations teaming up to orchestrate this shopping spree.
I told them it would make my birthday if they could just donate a couple dresses just to help. I had no idea at first that we could raise this many dresses to help this many girls.
It takes a village, and we're so glad that they are allowing us to be a part of their village.
Savannah Louie, Atlanta News First.
I just love that story. I actually also could not afford to go to prom. Luckily, they needed a photographer, a student photographer, and I had some background, so I was able to go and capture the event, and my friends made sure that I felt like I was part of the celebration. So another good reminder, during these big moments for your young one, whether it's prom, whether it's graduation, all it takes is just celebrating one another and making sure that they feel loved and recognized in that moment. So I wanted to show you a live look right now at Metro Atlanta. I believe this is Midtown. As we talk about this weekend, it is a First Alert Weather Day today, and we do want to encourage you to download the First Alert Weather app so that you can stay on top of any weather changes. I know a lot of you are making plans for the weekend, but also let's talk about the annual Georgia Food and Wine Festival that is happening in Cobb County. Join the Atlanta News First team at Jim Miller Park on Saturday and Sunday for food, games, and a chance to win a bunch of prizes. Our Atlanta News First team is going to be out there. We want to say hello to you. We want to hang out with you as we enjoy the Food and Wine Festival. You can log on to atlantanewsfirst.com for more details. Thank you so much for joining us here for the 11 o'clock edition of Catch Up Quick, our little, in case you missed it, special edition of Catch Up Quick. We will now take you back to Local News Live for your regular scheduled programming. If you're joining us on YouTube Live, hit that subscribe button. Whenever we go live for breaking news, community events, and all the news and information that you need, we will notify you in YouTube so that you can jump on and join the conversation. We'll catch you next time. Have a great weekend.